Hello, my name is Ari Waldman. I'm a person who stutters. Today is Daily Tanya, Daily Study, Chabad.org, Likutei Amarim, middle of chapter 4, Monday, December 14, 2020, the 28th of Kislev, 5781, Hanukkah Day 4, Happy Hanukkah. My video, Tanya, Day YouTube, Tanya, Day 52, because I didn't do it yesterday. Until now, it has been explained, and I'm going to be practicing pausing. Until now, it has been explained that the divine soul has three garments, in which it clothes itself, the thought, speech, and action of Torah, and the commandments. The Alter Rebbe now goes on to state that unlike physical garments, which are less important than their wearer, the garments of the divine soul are ever loftier than the soul which wears them. Thus, wearing its garments, i.e., thinking and speaking words of Torah and acting in performance of the commandments, elevates the soul to a higher level. Since Torah and the commandments are one with God, the Jew, by donning the garments of Torah and the commandments, also becomes united with him. In the Alter Rebbe's words, V'hine shloshim levushim elu me'atorah. Now these three garments deriving from the Torah and its commandments, though they are called merely garments of the nefesh, ruach, and neshama. V'hine shlosha levushim elu me'atorah u'mitzvoteha av shenikraim levushim lenefesh, ruach, u'neshama. Im kol zeh gavha v'gadla me alatam le'ein kates v'sof al ma'alat nefesh, ruach, u'neshama atzman. Nevertheless, the quality of the garments of the Torah and its commandments is infinitely higher and greater than that of the nefesh, ruach, and neshama themselves. K'mo shekatuv b'zohar d'oraita v'kudsha brichu kulam chad. For as explained in the Torah, in the Zohar, Torah and the Holy One, blessed be He, are entirely one. Perush d'oraita hi chachmato, uritzono shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'HaKadosh Baruch Hu bichvodo uve'atzmo kula chad. This means, since Torah is the wisdom and will of the Holy One, blessed be He, i.e., the wisdom of Torah expresses God's wisdom, its practical application and laws. Example, whether or not a particular object is kosher, expresses His will. It is one with His glory and essence. Perush d'oraita hi chachmato uritzono shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'HaKadosh Baruch Hu bichvodo uve'atzmo kula chad. Ki hu hayodea v'hu hamada v'chulei, k'mo shen nitba'ir le'el b'shem harambam, since he is the knower, the knowledge, and the known, as explained above in chapter 2, the name of Maimonides, that these three aspects separate and distinct in terms of human intellect, are, as they relate to God, one and the same entity. They are all godliness. The Torah, being God's intellect, is thus one with God himself. And when a Jew understands and unites himself with it, he is united with God himself. From the above, we understand that since the garments of thought and speech, of Torah study, and the active performance of the commandments are united with God, they are even higher than the soul itself. However, a question presents itself: how can it be said that in understanding Torah, one comprehends God's wisdom and will, when God's wisdom, like God himself, is infinitely beyond man's limited comprehension? This will now be explained. Ve'af de Hakadosh Baruch Hu nikra ein sof v'li dulato ein cheker v'leit machashava tefisa veit klal. Although the Holy One, blessed be He, is called Ein Sof, infinite, and his greatness can never be fathomed, and no thought can apprehend him at all, v'chein birtzono v'chachmato, and so are also his will and his wisdom, infinite and unfathomable, kidachtiv ein cheker litvunata. As it is written, there is no searching of his understanding. Uchtiv ha-cheker Eloha tinsa uchtiv kilo machshavotai machshavotechem. As it is also written, when you will search to understand God, you will find. And it is further written, for my thoughts are not like your thoughts, says God to man. Thus human thought is incapable of grasping divine thought. How then can it be said that in understanding Torah man grasps God's wisdom? To this the Alter Rebbe answers that God compressed and lowered his wisdom, clothing it in the physical terms and objects of Torah and its commandments so that it might be accessible to the human intelligence in order that man may thereby be united with God. Hine al zeh amru b'makom she'ata motze gedulato shel HaKadosh Baruch Hu she'sham ata motze anvatanuto. Concerning this disparity between human intelligence and divine wisdom, our sages have said, where you find the greatness of the Holy One, blessed be He, there you find his humility, i.e., how can we approach God's greatness to find it and be united with it? Through his humility, by lowering himself to our level,